Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, and good night. Yep. Alright. Reacting to Lil Dicky Hot Ones. I gotta wake up a little bit, so.
Now it's gotten in the throat.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Bro, it's just unironically funny, so this should be a good time. Alright, get the ads
Hot
out of here.
questions and even hotter wings. And today we're joined by Dave Bird. He's a rapper, comedian, and filmmaker
Hi, I'm
known for the
Dave.
semi-autobiographical
Little Dicky.
FX
Hi,
comedy
I'm
series
Dave.
Dave from My Money,
Who's
one of the best
Dave?
shows on TV. And after almost a decade of anticipation, we have a new Lil Dicky album as well.
Peanut.
A 20-song soundtrack to the show called Peanut, available now. Dave Bird, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Sean. I appreciate being here.
What's going through your head as you prepare
Lil Dicky, Loki, one of the best rappers. He just doesn't use it the way some do.
to take on the gauntlet? Are you having any concerns going into this?
I
Wait, okay.
yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have concerns. I don't know where I stand as far as heat, and like I can tell you, I'm definitely a pussy, just in general. Like that can apply everywhere, globally. I'm a global pussy. Like I don't like roller coasters. I don't like, even sledding is like too fast.
I feel that.
But I tend to like the heat, so I'm just curious. I don't know what to expect. I think the line will be drawn. There'll be a point where like I am too big of a pussy, but I'm hopeful that it's after the 10th wave.
He's gonna have a hard time on the third. Calling it right now.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Classic buff. That's classic. That's a timeless win.
So I'm curious about the process of creating a full-length album of original songs created for a TV show that you've created.
Yeah.
Like, which comes first, the song concept or the role that it needs to play in the show?
It varies.
It's a really good show. It's on Hulu. If you guys haven't seen that, go watch that. It's such a good show.
But for a lot of these songs, the song did come first. Here's what happens: is that I make the show. The show takes up an extreme amount of my time. Like I can't even emphasize how much. Like it's like a year of like just because I'm writing it, I'm in every scene, I'm part of the directing, I'm editing everything at the end, scoring it. So what I do after every season is like, oh my god, I'm in the studio every day just trying to make music, maybe for the show, but really I think of it as just like making music for a future project. So it varies, and I understand your question because it is like a total chicken and egg thing. But in this case, it's not the chicken or the egg. I guess it's just God, even though I'm not even like that religious at all.
It makes sense to me. I'm following along.
Yeah.
And then it was a big deal for us to get name-checked in your new song, Ha Ha Ha.
Yeah.
Can you take us behind the music and how a reference even ends up in a verse? Like, are you kind of humming along and then Hot Ones has the right syllables? Do you have a punchline and then you reverse engineer it? Is it abstract and difficult to explain, just like the first question?
No, it's not that abstract. It's not that abstract. I think in this instance, I do have like a little Google Doc of punchlines that, you know, every time I think of something interesting, I'll like write it. So there is like a list of different punchlines. Now that list gets smaller and smaller as time goes on and I use them, but I do add to them. And It's hard to say nothing like you're up on Hot Ones was like something that I've kind of always had in that little list and I'd been waiting to use. And when I don't know why I used it then and there, but I used it and I think it works great.
Well, it worked out for us
Shout
too.
out to you guys. Thank you for having me. I'm happy that you appreciated it.
Jalapeno hot sauce? Oh. That sucks.
There are two wings that, so I just pick one, huh?
They're right next to each other. Let me help you.
Like, look, what would you do in this instance? Like, everything else is in sequential order. These
Oh,
two,
actually, you are right.
yeah, this isn't
There
like me
is-
being weird. This is,
I would go with this one,
okay.
and we'll see how it lines up.
Okay, sauce number 2. A delicate baby wing.
So if a
God, I
rapper
want
doesn't
some
show up
wings
for a
right
studio
now.
session, I guess you can always just ask them the next day. But if they don't show up for a scene in a show that you're making, it can be like effectually lighting hundreds of thousands of dollars on fire.
Yeah.
Are there any stressful cameo situations that come to mind when you think of the first 3 seasons of Making Dave?
There are so many. And to be clear, I'm not going to name names, but there are several instances where episodes have been written about a particular celebrity. Oftentimes it ends up being a rapper. And they don't show up on the day, and then I immediately have to totally reimagine, rewrite the scene on the spot,
Damn.
call someone else, hope someone else is in town. You know, I'm not going to name names again, but it is very stressful. I've had to bring $20,000 in a backpack for like whoever shows up that day, and then I left that backpack at catering at lunch, and I was like shooting another scene, and I was like, oh my god, like my $20,000, and I sprinted to go get my backpack. It was still there. And then an artist came and actually didn't even charge anything. So, anyways,
They still got Brad Pitt on his show. Imagine how much he had to pay him.
it's very stressful. I think it's much easier as time goes on. Like season 1, I'm having to convince.
Proof of concept.
Yeah, I'm like, YG, like, trust me, it's gonna be great. Like season 3, I'm like, Brad, I know you've seen it. And yeah, so it gets easier as time goes on.
Yeah, quite a bit, dude.
Okay. Stellar Fuzz. I got a lot of meat.
Yeah,
I was a big chunk of meat.
I saw that.
Spicy.
I had to take a bigger bite just to keep up.
That's spicy.
And this one is a little bit of a step here.
That's great. That's great. I would order that. No problem.
Whoa.
No problem. And I keep it real.
Damn,
I know
I was
you do.
wrong.
when
I
there's a
know
problem.
you do.
No problem.
Oh,
It's lingering.
Was
but
I?
It's not a problem. I'm happy it's still there.
So no matter how ambitious the show gets artistically, I know it'll always be important. You just always have great jokes. Is there a backstory to the Somebody Suck Me viral campaign?
The backstory, it's so, like, dumb. But, yeah, essentially me and my best friend Benny Blanco,
Love Benny.
for whatever reason, we started calling each other Buck. It very quickly transitioned into Chuck. There was one night in New York City where we were like, I stayed up the latest I ever stayed up. And I think I was just like, we were like, oh, like Buck me. And I was like, suck me. But like not
hold up.
seriously. It's just like,
I'm getting copywritten for this. On fucking YouTube. Damn. Oh no, I just got an email and it said streams got taken down for copyright.